अस्तु आरम्भं करोतु महोदय। सर्वे कृपया म्यूट् मध्ये भवन्तु।
ॐ वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णुः गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः।
ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। अस्तु धन्यवादः महोदय।
धन्यवाद।
Thank you all for being flexible in accommodating my inflexible meetings that I had with my at work. Astu. So in the last class we did twa and lyap. Any questions about them?
Yeah, Bhanu Mahoday, I had some questions.
Pruchhatu Mahoday.
Like I found this homework a bit challenging than earlier homework. I don't know whether it was only for me. So first time I submitted a couple of hours late. Okay, because if the word is available in one of the earlier examples given, it was simple. But we did not, at least I couldn't figure out what is the rule to get the twa word for the Kriya Pada. Same with Lyap also. Whatever is there in the examples given or in that Sambhashanam, all that we could write. But the ones which were not there, it was a struggle to figure out how to get it. So while looking at that, I could see that there are some rules and all that also to arrive at whether it makara goes, nakara goes, and all those things, how to add a twa. But I couldn't understand the whole thing. Then I left it. I said, okay, whatever I know, I'll write.
So the whole purpose of that homework, Manjula Mahoday, what is it?
Namaste, Bhanu Mahadaya. Same thing I also experienced because I wanted to do it myself after attending the tutorials. As I couldn't do that, so because of the tutorials I could finish, otherwise I would not have. And how to write this, no, what Anupama, that Udvatva, I don't know how to type it as what. And root words I couldn't get. So same problem I also had.
Dhanyavadah. So the one of the purposes of that homework was to force you to look up things online. So as we progress, we won't have everything readily available. So we have to learn how to use the different online tools. So I knew going in that we wouldn't have some words readily available, and that's why we had to look it up online. But that was the purpose, or one of the purposes of that homework. So what words, Vijaymenon Mahodaya, did you have a challenge with? Let's take one example.
Yeah, 1 second.
Bhanu Mahadaya, I have a suggestion. The same twa pratyaya and lap pratyaya are given in RSS G1P2, this book. So if you if they have time to refer that book,
Okay.
all the answers are there.
Okay, I didn't get it. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't look at that.
And also, you have been given this some of the reference books for us, isn't it? So they have, almost all the words are covered in that.
So,
you will have to find some time to look into that.
No, but that is one is to find out and write. Okay, but you can't remember all that, and when you are writing it or exam or whatever, if you want to use it also, you won't have time to go and search and get all the answers. And how to remember? Is it there is some rule like Natwa rule we learned in the beginning, like that? Some rules are there, then we can.
There is only one rule that is consistent. There are other rules that we may learn in an advanced Vyakarana class, but let us not worry about them.
Okay.
So let us take a step back. When do we use twa or lyap?
Yeah, my understanding is you have two sentences with two kriyas happening, and you want to have it in a sequence. Okay, do this, or after having done this, then do this, kind of a sequence, right?
Sasyam. So kriya 1 and kriya 2. After kriya 1 is done, kriya 2 is being done or will be done or was done, depending on the lakara. And the kriya 1 is the one that takes the twa or lyap, whereas kriya 2 will remain as a proper lakara.
That's clear.
So it is a way of combining two different statements or kriyas in a sequence. And the first one is always the one that takes twa or lyap form. Second one remains in the proper lakara form. So the first kriya pada, if it is a normal dhatu without an upasarga, then we have to use twa. If there is a upasarga, then we have to use lyap. That is the only consistent rule that we can talk about. There may be other rules that we can.
That part is clear. That part is clear, Bhanu Mahadaya. That is not a problem. But the twa is changing, right? You have patati becomes patitwa. And many others are there which are slightly different, like dadati becomes datva, namati becomes natva. So that how to know which one becomes, because there are many special, then there are too many special, right? That was a little confusing.
That comes from
practice only, huh?
Because I mean, we can derive those rules if we study Panini's Ashtadhyayi, but that's a very advanced topic, and that's not the approach we are taking. So there are rules to derive. Everything in Samskrita has a rule that has been formulated by Panini Mahodaya. So everything can be derived. There is nothing that cannot be derived. But that is a different way of studying Samskrita through Panini's Vyakarana. We are not taking that approach. So at our level, at this point, we do a lot of abhyasa, and that's how we remember.
Oh, Bhanu Mahodaya, I have a doubt. May I ask?
Yeah.
Page 125. Page 125, Bhasha Pravesha, second exercise. We were given to understand that if the Kriya Padam has a Upasarga, it will be a Lyap. But here he is given Vilikitva. Vilikitva and Vilikya.
Upasarga is there.
You have to pick in that homework. You have to pick among the two which is the appropriate word.
The other one is supposed to be a wrong one, is it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Only one of them is correct.
I felt the exercise to be too simple. I thought there was something
tricky in there. Even
yeah,
I felt, but then in tutorial, Meera Mohoday had mentioned about it, so that's why that was easy for us.
Yeah, that's it. And one more doubt. Sita Sambodhanam is Site.
Sasyam.
Then why is Mata Mataha? Don't we say Mate? No, is it?
Because that's a Rukaranta Strilinga Shabda. We haven't studied Rukaranta. We will study it in a couple of classes from now. Sita is
Matru. Okay. Matru. Right. I got it.
It is Matru. So Rukaranta Strilinga Shabda. Their Sambodhana is different.
Oh.
We will study it in a couple of classes. So are you Pruchhati Raj Mahoday?
No, if we have more than 2 sentences, then same rule applies that till the last Kriya Pada, we will use Twa or Lep depending on Upasarga. Then you can add Cha or something, is it?
It depends on your intent. Usually when you are using 3 sentences together, if the idea is to indicate a sequence, then yes. First and second will take the Twa Lep, and the last sentence will remain as a proper Lakar. Sasyam. Sasyam.
Provided Karta is the same.
Sasyam.
Karta has to be the same.
Mohoday, one of the tutorial class, for example, Patati plus Twa, Patitva. So if you that's what Karthik Mohoday mentioned. Say most of the words, ends in Patati like that. There are some like Namitva, Nam and other thing. Just pay attention. Don't worry. Like you said, don't worry about other thing. But most of the time, like Patati plus Twa, Patitva. Then if you do that way, you will get most of the answers right. Am I right? That's what Karthik Mohoday said.
If that's how you are able to remember, then yeah, whatever works for you. Because at this point, we are only talking about what is the easiest way to remember things, right? So if that's how it helps you to remember, do it that way. But in general, right, as in 5 or 6 more classes, this will become second nature to you. You won't even think about it. It will come as we do more and more abhyasa. Just like whatever we studied in class 20 or 30, you can blindly close your eyes and answer whatever question I ask. So it's like that. It just comes from practice.
Okay. Like Vishesha Rupa, if you try to remember it, automatically it will come, right?
It will come. And your mind, even if you make a mistake, your mind will automatically tell you, hey, something is wrong here.
Okay.
And has
so if Bhagya Mahodaya's this thing is right, Anitva and Aniya, I would have selected Anitva only.
Why? A is an Upasarga, right?
Anitva, Aniya. Between the two, if not for the tutorials.
So does it have
if I go with the ending letter, I have to select Twa only instead of Ya. How do I select?
Does anybody want to answer that? Sasyam, wait. Does anybody want to answer?
There it is Upasarga, no? Upasarga, so it will have Lep only. It's a Upasarga.
You are selecting only
no, it is Nayati is Nitva. Nayati is Nitva. And Anayati is with the Upasarga A. Then it will not be Twa, it will be Lep. So that is the reason, yeah.
Dhatu is Ni. Dhatu is Ni. So Upasarga plus Dhatu plus Lep.
Oh my God. If not for the tutorials, I would have done 50% of the things wrong, to be honest.
It's okay, Mahoday. That's the whole point of these classes and whole point of these abhyasas.
First, I think, Mahodaya, we should stop thinking we should be right all the time. We need not be right.
We won't be right. We won't be right. Sasyam. So I just want to quickly revise how to use the tools that we have for determining some of these things or for validating what we think is the right answer. So as Meera Mahodaya or Narayanan Mahodaya said, the dhatu there is ni dhatu. So if you go to the Indriya website and click on grammar, so this part, the declension part, is used for finding the vibhakti. The conjugation part is for finding the lakara, different lakara. And so I typed the dhatu here, and because I typed in Devanagari, I select Devanagari. Class is most likely going to be 1, but there is an easy way to find the class also. So we know Nayati, for example. Then go to sanskritdictionary.com and type Nayati. It will give you the dhatu and it will also give you the class. So the dhatu is ni and the class is 1. So that is what we will type here. Dhatu is ni, class is 1, and we want the output in Devanagari. And if we submit that, there is an easy way of validating whether we are looking at the right form or not. So nayati, nayataha, nayanti. So this is what we want. So if the class is different, for example, this form will change. For example, if the class were 2, then instead of nayati, it is neti. So let's not worry about why, what the different classes are. What I'm saying is, look at the lat lakara prathama ekavachana. It will serve as a good check whether you're looking at the right dhatu, whether you're looking at the right class and all of that. For the most part, the class will be 1, so don't worry about that. So neti, so this is not right. So try 1, class 1, nayati. Okay, we are in the right place. So we can look at all of the lat lakara form, the atmanepadi forms which we studied. So nayati, nayataha, nayanti, nayate, nayete, nayante. We studied that. And then it will give the bhutakala, lang lakara form, anayat, anayatam, ityadi. And also the lot lakara form, nayatu, nayatam, etc. And lut rakara, bhavishyat kala. And then if you keep scrolling down, look at the section called Krudanta. There you will find the Tavatu form. Tavatu form is a Bhutakala, the first type of Bhutakala that we studied. So if you click on M, it will give you the Bhutakala Rupam for Pumlinga. Nitavan, Nitavantau, Nitavantaha, Nitavan, Nitavantau, Nitavantaha, ityadi. So you can find the Tavatu forms also. And if you click on the F, it will give you the Strilinga form. Nitavati, Nitavatyau, Nitavatyaha, ityadi. And then we had studied one more, Tumun. And Lyap and Twa. So Tumun, so the Tumun form of Ni dhatu is Netum. And there seems to be an alternate form also, Nayitum. So to answer the question here, Twa form is Nitva, right? Nitva. And they have also given us the Lyap form. Look at the circle before Niya. It just means that you have to add the Upasarga in front. So for us, A Nayati. So A Upasarga is there. So replace this circle with the Upasarga, whatever the Upasarga is. So Aniya. So if it is no Upasarga, then the Twa form is Nitva. If there is an Upasarga, Aniya or Samniya, or nirniya, whatever it is, whatever the upasarga happens to be, just substitute in front of the niya form, in front of the lyap form. So this is
very good.
tool.
This very good tool. Okay. Then I didn't use this. Okay. Sanskrit Indriya. Okay. Thank you. This was useful. Okay.
So now go back to your homework and try to look up the different lyap and twa forms. Prashnaha santi va?
Nasti.
Last time when I checked up, you said this is a machine tools, so it may not be correct always.
It may not be always correct because it's a.
Especially when shabdas were done, that was a mistake.
Satyam. So that is why we also talked about other tools, right? So you have our spokensanskrit.org. Now it has become learnsanskrit.cc. You have this to validate what you're looking at is correct or not. We also have kosha.sanskrit.today. That also you can use as a validation. And then we have sanskritdictionary.com. And then we also have ashtadhyayi.com. So you can use all of these to validate what you are doing. But for the most part, for the level that we are in, it will be class 1. And even for Namapadas, the Pratipadikam will be simple, Akaranta, Rukaranta, simple words like that. So the Indriya side is good enough. As we advance more, we will learn about other things. अस्तु, अन्ये प्रश्नाः सन्ति वा?
Very useful, Mahodaya. Dhanyavadah.
Very useful. Very useful.
अस्तु अस्तु. प्रश्नाः न सन्ति चेत् अग्रे सरामः किञ्चित्. So we studied about the different lakara forms. Anybody want to talk about the different lakaras we studied so far? Let's make this interactive. That way it's a revision for you also.
Starting with lat lakara, vartamana kala. Then lot lakara,
lit lakara is bhavishyat kala.
Lut lakara, bhavishyat kala. Lot lakara is what?
Agnya prarthana.
Lang lakara, bhutakala.
Lakara, bhutakala. Uttamam. So for the lang lakara, we had done prathama purusha and uttama purusha. We haven't done madhyama purusha. So that is what we will do today. So if the dhatu is pat, for example, the lang lakara form is apathat, apathatam, apathan, for likh, alikhat, alikhatam, alikhan, ityadi. So the ekavachana form will end in takara with a halanta, and the dvivachana form will end in tam, and the bahuvachana form will end in nakara, and they all will have the in front. So this is not the upasarga, just the letter a will come in the front. So that was for prathama purusha. For uttama purusha, when I'm talking about myself, apatham, apathava, apathama, alikham, alikhava, alikhama, akhadam, khadava, akhadama, ityadi. So again, the a will come in the front. Ekavachana will end with makara. Dvivachana ava, ava, ava. And bahuvachana ama, ama, ama. We had not studied the Madhyama Purusha Rupas, so let us do that today. Balakaha apathat Prathama Purusha, Aham apatham Uttama Purusha. The corresponding Madhyama Purusha Ekavachana form is Tvam apathaha. Apathat, apathatam, and Madhyama Purusha apathaha. Balakaha apathat, the boy studied. Aham apatham, I studied in the past. Tvam apathaha, you had studied in the past. Ekavachanam, you ekavachanam. Chhatra alikhat, the girl student had written. Aham alikham, I had written or I wrote. Tvam alikhaha, you had written or you ekavachana wrote. Bhavan or bhavati akhadat. Aham akhadam and tvam akhadaha. So question for you all. So here we are saying tvam is for you, apataha, tvam alikhaha, and then we are also saying tvam akhadaha. But bhavan and bhavati is also tvam. So why is it not bhavan akhadaha or bhavati akhadaha? Why is it bhavan akhadat?
Bhavan is Pratama Purusha.
So bhavan and bhavati are in Prathama Purusha. And that is why the Kriya Padam will also take the Bhavan. So the Bhavan and Bhavati are not, Bhavan and Bhavati are used with Prathama Purusha, and that's why the Kriya will take the Prathama Purusha form and not the Madhyama Purusha form. Bhavan akhadat and Tvam akhadaha. So even though if you translate this into English, it will be you had eaten in both the cases, because Bhavan and Bhavati are used with Prathama Purusha. The Kriya Padam will, the Lakara will be Prathama form. Bhavan or Bhavati akhadat, Tvam akhadaha. So apathaha, alikhaha, akhadaha. So the a letter again, because it's a lang lakara, the a letter will come in the front. So that's something we can generalize. The a letter will come in the front. And for Madhyama Purusha Ekavachana, it will end in a visarga. Apathaha, alikhaha, akhadaha.
So Bhanuma, the last sentence on the previous slide, so both will like Bhavan, Bhavati, Akhadata. That also is you. Bhavan is you only, right?
Bhavan is you only. For a Pumlinga Shabda. Bhavati is for Trilinga.
Yes. So the that Bhavan, Bhavati, Akhadat and Tvam Akhada meaning will be same.
Meaning will be the same, but the way it is used is slightly different. So Tvam Akhadaha literally means you had eaten. Bhavan Akhadat means so if I'm talking to you or if I'm talking about you, I would say Vijay Meenan Mahodaya Bhavan Akhadat. So Vijay Meenan Mahodaya ate.
Okay.
So even though I'm talking to you, I'm addressing you in a Prathama Purusha, third person. I'm addressing you in third person. So I'm not saying to you, you ate. I'm saying, even though I'm talking to you, I will address you in third person and say, Vijay Meenan Mahodaya ate.
Bhavan, yeah, Bhavan. Okay, got it. Understood.
Is that distinction clear? Does anybody have a question? Sudha Mahoday, you look confused. Spashtam va?
Yeah, I understood.
Bhanu Mahadaya, can you please repeat the English translations of these sentences? Balakaha apatham.
Bhavati eva prayatnam karotu. You try. You
Balakaha apatham is boy had studied.
Apathat, not apatham. Apathat.
Apatat, sorry. Apatat. Boy had studied.
Satya.
Aham apatham.
I studied.
I had studied. And tvam apataha. You have studied.
Satya.
Okay.
And bhavati apathat. So, Sri, if I'm talking to you, I could say tvam apataha. So you studied, or I can say bhavati apataha. Sri Vidya Mahodaya had studied. Even though I'm talking to you, I'm addressing you or treating you
as a third person.
As a third person. So that's why it will take apathat, not apataha.
This I studied is not sufficient here, isn't it? I have studied. That is.
There are distinctions in English, but even in Sanskrita, there are those distinctions. But we are going to take the simple lang lakara form, and whether it is I had studied or I studied, simple past, all of those, whatever those different forms are, at our level, all we are going to treat it as is something that happened in the past. Bhutakala. I studied, or I had studied. We both we consider all of them. Whatever happened in the past, we are just going to use the lang lakara form. So tvam apataha, tvam alikhaha, tvam akhadaha. So that is ekavachana form. So tvam, what is the pratipadikam? Tvam. Anybody remember? Usha Mahodaya.
Is it two?
Yes. Anybody else? Viraj Mahodaya.
What is the question? I got sorry.
Tvam is you. We are saying ekavachana form. What is the pratipadikam for that?
Is it Yushmad form?
Yushmad Shabda. Yushmad. So what are the dvivachana and bahuvachana forms in Prathama Vibhakti?
Yuvam, Yuyam.
Tvam, Yuvam, Yuyam.
Yuyam.
Tvam, Yuvam, Yuyam. So because this is Madhyama Purusha and we are talking about you, we have to use the Yushmad Shabda. If it is, if I'm talking about myself, that's Uttama Purusha.
Asmat Shabda.
Asmat Shabda. And the Prathama Vibhakti, the Karta forms will be?
Aham, avam, vayam.
Aham, avam, vayam. Aham, avam, vayam, tvam, yuvam, yuyam. So, tvam apataha, yuvam apatatam, yuyam apatata. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, Mahoday.
So, apataha, apatatam, apatata. And please make a note, this doesn't have a halanta, it is apatata, not apatat. If it was apatat, what would it be?
Pradhama Purusha.
Pradhama Purusha
Ekavachana.
Pradhama Purusha.
Prathama Ekavachana. Satyam. So we have to be careful about the halanta, visarga, etc. The meaning will change, the form will change. So Tvam Pathasi, you are reading, that is the Lat Lakara form. So corresponding Lang Lakara form, Tvam Apataha, you had studied or you studied in the past. Yuvam Apathatam, you too had studied. Yuyam Apathata, you all had studied. Tvam Likhasi, you are writing in the Lat Lakara form. The Lang Lakara form, Tvam Alikhaha, you wrote or you had written. Yuvam Alikhatam, you too had written or you too wrote. Yuyam Alikhata, you all wrote. So, for the pat dhatu, apathaha, apathatam, apathatha, alikhaha, alikhatam, alikhata, akhadaha, akhadatam, akhadata, ityadi. So, the ekavachana forms will end in visarga, aha, aha, aha. Dvivachana forms will end in tam, tam, tam. Bahuvachana forms will end in ta, ta, ta. And all of them will have the a in the front. So all the Lang Lakara forms will have the a in all three Purushas. Will have a in front.
In Lot Lakara, we had similar usage for the.
Uttamam. What did we have in Lot Lakara? I was just about to point that out. Vadatu Viraj Mahodaya.
No, we said pata, patatam, patata.
Patha, pathatam, pathata, uttamam. So in Lot Lakara, this was patha, pathatam, pathata. Slight change. We add a, and then for Ekavachana we add a visarga, patha. Instead of pathatam, we just add an apathatam, and then pathata. You all study. Apathata, you all had studied. So the forms are similar. Prashnaः सन्ति वा? नो चेत् अभ्यासं कुर्मः. So Yushmad Shabda is here, the Karta, middle box is Karma, and instead of giving the Kriya Pada, we wrote the Dhatu here, so you have to convert it into the Lang Lakara form. So we are talking Madhyama Purusha. So Karta is Yushmad Shabda, so the Lang Lakara also has to be in Madhyama Purusha. Sudha Mahoday, please start. Sudha Mahoday अस्ति वा?
Tvam jalam apibaha. Yuvam jalam apibatam. Yuyam jalam apibata.
Satyam. Apibaha, apibatam, apibata.
Apibata.
Apibaha, yuvam, apibatam, yuyam, apibata. Anasti Mahoday,
apibata.
Apibaha, apibatam, apibata.
Apibata.
Usha Mahoday. Usha Mahoday, द्वितीयं करोतु.
Tvam akridata kridati.
Lang lakar.
Akrida.
Apathaha, apathatam, apathatha. So Ekavachana will end in Visarga, Dvivachana will end in Tam, Bahuvachana will end in Sa. Tvam.
Akridatah. Akridatah.
Akridaha.
Akridaha. Tvam akridaha. Kridati.
There is no T, that is Lat Lakara.
Oh.
Apathaha, apathatam, apatata, akridaha, akridatam, akridata. Prayatnam karoti. Tvam.
Tvam akridaha. Akridaha. Then the third one is
Tvam is akridaha. Then yuvam.
Oh. Mahodaya, she is getting confused with Krida, which is in the middle block. That is Karma Padam.
Yeah.
This is the Kriya Karma Padam Mahodaya. This is the object. Okay, forget about the middle box. We can do without the middle box also. Tvam.
Okay. So
do the
Tvam.
first and the third boxes.
Tvam akridaha. Yuvam. Akridatam. Yuyam akridata.
Uttamam. Tvam akridaha. Yuvam akridatam. Yuyam akridata. Now let us add back the Karma Padam. So Karma Padam Krida Akaranta Strilinga. So what will be the Karma Pada Karma form?
Kridanganam.
Karma Pada.
Freedom.
Kridam.
Kridam.
So it's Tvam Kridam. Tvam Kridam akridaha. Yuvam Kridam akridatam. Yuyam Kridam akridata.
Not akridatam, akridaha, akridatam, akridata. Not it's all just a hrasva, not the dirgha.
Not okay.
Not Uttamam, Uttamam. Bhavani Mahoday, correct. Trutiyam.
Tvam Tvam devam anamataha. Tvam
Ekanimisham. There is no taha, it's only aha. It's not apatataha, it is apataha.
Okay. So Tvam devam anamaha. Anamaha. Tvam devam anamatam. Tvam devam anamata.
Punaha vadatu. Kinchit dosham asti. Punaha prayatnam.
Tvam devam anamaha. Yuvam Tvam devam anamaha. Yuvam devam anamatam. Yuyam devam anamata.
Uttamam. Anamaha, anamatam, anamata. Tvam
anamaha.
Ana. अस्तु चैत्र महोदय चतुर्थं करोतु।
महोदय त्वं गीतं अगायः युवां गीतं अगायतं यूयं गीतं अगायत.
अगायः, अगायतम्, अगायत.
अगायत.
उत्तमम्.
धन्यवादः.
विजयमीनन् महोदय पञ्चमं करोतु.
त्वं मन्त्रं त्वं मन्त्रम् अवदः युवां मन्त्रम् अवदतं त्वं यूयं मन्त्रम् अवदत.
अवदः, अवदतम्, अवदत. अर्थं किं महोदय? What is the meaning?
You chant the mantra.
Chant.
Sorry. No, speak. Vadat. Sorry. Chanted.
Chanted.
You had chanted the mantram. You both chanted the mantram, and you all chanted the mantram.
उत्तमम्, उत्तमम्, उत्तमम्. अनुपमा महोदय अन्तिमं करोतु.
आं महोदय. त्वं विद्यालयं गच्छतः युवां गच्छतः अगच्छतः.
No. There is no taha. It's only aha.
अगच्छः.
अपठः, अपठतम्, अपठत.
आं महोदय. त्वं विद्यालयं गच्छः युवां विद्यालयम् अगच्छः युवां विद्यालयम् अगच्छत् यूयं
चिन्ता मास्तु.
अगच्छत्. ओ माय गॉड.
अगच्छतम्, अगच्छत. Now you know why we prefer to use tavatu forms for bhutakala. It's much more simple. There are lang lakara forms are a little complicated. We have to worry about upasarga, and the forms are also not very intuitive. So that's why we use tavatu form. Tvam gatavan, yuvam gatavantau, yuyam gatavantah. That would have been simple, but since we have to study the lang lakara form, we are studying. Punah prayatnam karot.
त्वं विद्यालयम् अगच्छः युवां विद्यालयम् अगच्छतम् यूयां विद्यालयम् अगच्छत.
Uttamam. It's not yuyam, it's yuyam.
यूयम्.
It's straightforward. It's just that the forms are not new to us, so we need some abhyasa. We will do the abhyasa as part of homework. Prashnaha santi va? So with this, we have finished all the lakara forms for parasmaipadi shabda. We have done lat lakara, lot lakara, lang lakara, and rut lakara in parasmaipadi in all three purushas. So that completes whatever we are going to learn for the lakara topic in parasmaipadi. In a upcoming class, we will study the Atmanepadi. In Atmanepadi, we studied Lat Lakara and Rut Lakara, Vartamana Kala and Bhavishyat Kala. We will study Bhuta Kala and Ajna Prarthana. So those are.
We didn't do, no? Rit Lakara we didn't do, no?
We did, Mahodaya.
Okay.
Rut is very straightforward. No,
Shyadi.
Shya agacchati.
Shati.
Shati, Shati, Shataha, Shanti. Kutra asti? Pathasi, so it will be Pathishyasi, Likhasi, Likhishyasi. We will astu. We will revise that. We will revise Rut Lakara. But before that, are there any questions about what we have studied today? Astu. So I have one announcement to make. So this was class number 42. Usha Mahodaya is anticipating what I'm going to say next. She knows what I'm going to say next. What am I going to say next?
Interim test.
Another test. Oh my God.
Sasyam. Sasyam. We will have a take-home test next week. It will be simple. We will cover only the lakaras, parasmaipadi only. We will not do atmanepadi. We will keep the atmanepadi for the last test, revision test 5. So we will have a revision test 4 next week. It will cover the parasmaipadi lakara form. The 4 lakaras, lat lakara, rut lakara, lot lakara, and lang lakara. Only parasmaipadi. And then we had studied Prathama, Ditya, Trutiya, and Chaturthi vibhakti in great detail. So we will touch upon those topics also. And then we studied Upasargas, and then we studied Abhyaya. So these are the 4 topics we will cover as part of the revision test. And just like last time, it will be take home. So we will send out the question paper on next Tuesday evening. And then you will have 1 week, just like you have your regular homework. Do it at your own convenience. Set aside 1 hour. Do it at whatever time works for you, and submit it just like you would submit your homework. And don't refer to any books, please, while writing that. So we will use the remaining portion of this class and the next class for revision. If you have any topics that you would like me to cover, we can do that in this class and the next one.
So online references are not allowed, right? Meaning dictionary and all those things that you.
Pariksha samaye must. Not during.
Must.
We will keep it very simple, nothing complicated. So the most common reaction after revision test 3 was, this is so simple, homeworks are harder. So it will be like that only. The idea is not to torture you or anything. The idea is to help you remember things. That's all. And crystallize what you have learned. Astu. Prashnaः सन्ति वा? परीक्षा विषये प्रश्नाः सन्ति वा?
महोदय,
वदतु महोदय।
एकवारं मध्यमपुरुष अस्मद् and युष्मद्, can we go through once?
Which lakara महोदय?
Asmad and Yushmad.
Which lakara?
Asti. Asti.
Asdhatu.
Asdhatu.
We will do it as an interactive thing. So let us start with lat lakara. What are the Asdhatu forms of lat lakara?
Asti, staha, santi.
Asti, staha, santi. Prathama purusha. And then?
Asti, asi.
Staha.
Staha and stha.
And then Uttama purusha?
Asmi.
Asmi. Swaha.
Swaha.
Uttamam. Online pashyamaha. that is the easiest. किं करोमि? अष्टाध्यायी मध्ये वयं दृष्ट्वा अभ्यासं कुर्मः. So अस् धातोः लट् लकार अस्ति स्तः सन्ति असि स्थः स्थ अस्मि स्वः स्म. मीरा महोदय, भवती एव वाक्यं रचयतु. प्रथमपुरुषे वाक्यानि रचयतु.
सः अस्ति, तौ स्तः, तानि सन्ति, ते सन्ति, ते सन्ति,
ते सन्ति. अर्थं किम् अस्ति? अर्थं किम्? सः अस्ति,
सः अस्ति, he is there. तौ स्तः, they both are there. And te santi, all are there.
All are there. Narayanan Mahoday, मध्यमपुरुषे वाक्यानि रचयतु कृपया.
त्वं गृहे असि, युवां गृहे स्तः, यूयं गृहे स्थ.
उत्तमम्. अर्थं?
So you are at home, you two are at home, you all are at home.
उत्तमम् उत्तमम्. विराज महोदय, उत्तमपुरुषे विराज महोदय अस्ति वा?
Yes, Sabha Mudya, but can I get Namapada?
Aham asmi.
Uttama Purusha. Okay.
Uttama Purusha.
Okay, I'll just use Aham then.
You have to use Aham only. You cannot use. So for Uttama Purusha, you have to use Asmat Shabda only. Aham, Avam, Vayam. For Madhyama Purusha, you have to use Yushmat Shabda only. Tvam, Yuvam, Yuyam. Only for Prathama Purusha, you can use different kartas. Whereas for Madhyama, it is always Yushmad, and for Uttama, you always have to use Asmat Shabda. You cannot use something else. So we cannot say Saha Asmi, it is wrong. Or Tvam Asmi, it is wrong. So if you use Tvam, then it will be Asi only. And if it is Aham, it will be Asmi only.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
What?
Aham Bengaluru Nagare Asmi. Avam Bengaluru Nagare Swaha. Vayam Bengaluru Nagare Smaha.
Artham kim asti?
I am in Bangalore. We too in Bangalore. We all in Bangalore.
Uttama. Asti stha santi, asi stha stha, asmi swaha smaha. Ramu Mahodaya, etattu latlakara asti, lutlakare pada rupani kim santi, kani santi. Bhavishyat kala.
Lutlakare. Okay.
You remember?
No.
No. Okay. Somebody else remember?
It's Bhavishyati, right?
Vadatu Mahodaya.
Right, Mahodaya. Is it Bhavishyati?
Vadatu Bhagya Mahodaya. Bhavishyati.
Bhavishyati, Bhavishyataha, Bhavishyanti. Bhavishyasi, Bhavishyataha, Bhavishyata. Bhavishyami, Bhavishyavaha, Bhavishyamaha.
Uttamam. Although the Rutlakara form is slightly different. It is not Ashyati or something. It is Bhavishyati. Bhavishyati, Bhavishyataha, Bhavishyanti, Bhavishyasi, Bhavishyataha, Bhavishyata, Bhavishyami, Bhavishyavaha, Bhavishyamaha. Ramu Mahodaya. Prathama Purishe Vakyam Rachayatu.
Sajjanasya Vachanam Satyam Bhavishyati.
Uttamam. Dvivachane.
Sajjanasya Ashirvadam Satyam Bhavishyataha.
No. What you are doing is correct. Let us simplify the sentence so that it's easy. Saha किं वदामि वैद्यः भविष्यति. He will become a doctor.
Okay. Saha sa te
no.
Tau Saha Vaidyaha Bhavishyati. Tau Vaidye Bhavishyataha.
Vaidyo
Bhavishyataha. Te Vaidyaha Bhavishyati.
उत्तमं. सः वैद्यः भविष्यति. तौ वैद्यौ भविष्यतः. ते वैद्याः भविष्यन्ति. Instead of saha, if you use sa, same. So he will become a doctor. He will become a doctor.
She will become. Sa Vaidya Bhavishyati.
Vaidya
Bhavishyati. Vaidya Bhavishyati.
Dvivachanam.
Te Bhavishyataha. Te Vaidye Bhavishyataha. Tau Taha Vaidyaha
भविष्यन्ति. एक प्रश्न पृच्छामि. Is it necessary for the Vaidya to change? It can be Vaidya only, no? Because Saha Vaidya Bhavishyati. Tau
Vaidyaha. Saha, if you say Saha Vaidyaha, right?
No, Sa, I meant Sa. Sa Vaidya Bhavishyati. Then Tau, Vaidya is you're referring to a doctor. So Tau Vaidya Bhavishyataha. Then the Taha Vaidya Bhavishyanti. Will that be wrong? Because Taha is the Prathama Purusha there, and it is referring to the Kriya Padam Bhavishyanti, no?
What is Vaidya?
So Vaidya should be what is
Visheshana, no?
Is it Vishesha Visheshana?
So Angla Bhashayam yadi swikurmaha, he will be a doctor. They too will be a doctor or will be doctors?
Doctors.
So sa bhavishyati, te bhavishyataha, taha bhavishyanti. Vaidya.
Okay. धन्यवादः महोदय.
चिन्ता मास्तु. मञ्जुला महोदय, एतत् प्रयत्नं करोतु. मध्यमपुरुषे. Manjula Mahodaya.
Which one should I use?
Yeah, Mahodaya.
Same doctor. She will be a doctor like that. From Vijay Menon Mahodaya, please mute yourself.
Tom Yuvam Yuyam. Right?
Sasyam. From Vaidya
Bhavishyati only.
Tvam will always be in the Madhyama Purusha form. Bhavishyati will be Prathama Purusha. Tvam, you.
Bhavishyataha bhavish.
Tvam Vaidya Bhavishyati. Yuvam Vaidya Bhavishyatha. Yuyam Vaidye and Vaidya Bhavishyatha.
Vaidya. Tvam Vaidya Bhavishyati. Yuvam Vaidye Bhavishyatah. Yuyam Vaidyaha Bhavishyati.
Bhavishyatha. Meaning, what is the meaning?
You become a doctor. You too will become doctors. You all will become doctors.
You will become a doctor. You too will become doctors. You all will become doctors. Uttama. Rohini Mahode. Antimam Karotu. Uttama Purusha.
Aham Vaidyaha Bhavishyami. Vaidyo Bhavishyavaha. Vayam Vidyaha Bhavishyama.
Uttamam. Aham Bhavishyami. Avam Bhavishyavaha. Vayam Bhavishyamaha. Uttamam. Lot Lakara. Astu, Tam, Santu, Stat, Stam, Sta, Asani, Asava, Asama, and Lang Lakara, Asit, Astam, Asan, Asihi, Astam, Asta, Asam, Asva, Asma. So let us take a simpler Kriya Padam or a Dhatu and do that. Meera Mahode, you had doubts about the As Dhatu. Are those clear? Or do you want to go through Lot and Lang also?
No, it's clear, Mahoday. It's clear.
So let us take a simpler form. Pat Dhatu. Varalakshmi Mahoday. Pat Dhatoho Latlakara Rupani Kani. What are the Latlakara forms of Pat Dhatu? Varalakshmi Mahoday, Asti va?
Patati, I'm sure. Patati, Patataha, Patanti. Patasi, Patataha, Patata. Patami, Patava, Patami.
Uttamam. Kinchit Ucharane Doshamasti Patathaha. It is not it is Mahaprana, not Alpaprana. Patathaha and Patatha. If it is Patataha, then it will become Prathama Purusha.
Okay.
Not Madhyama Purusha.
I'll correct this.
Astu. Chinta mastu. Latlakara. Ramu Mahodaya. We will come to you again. Lut Lakara. Bhavishyat Kala Rupani. Pat Dhatu.
Patishyata, Padishyanti.
No. Slow down. Repeat. For all Purusha.
Padishyata.
Atra Pashyatu. Pathati, Pathatah, Pathanti. So, Prathama Purushe.
Padishyati. Padishyataha. Padishyanti. Padishyasi. Padishyataha. Padishyata. Padishyami. Padishyava. Padishyamaha.
Sasyam. Bhavanapi atra thaha asti natta
Padata.
Patathaha. Tha.
Okay.
Mahaprana. So you had asked a question about Lot Lakara, Bhavishyat Kala. So it is very similar to Lat Lakara. Instead of Ti, Taha, and Ti.
Ishyati. Ishyati. Ishyata, Ishyata.
Satyam. Shyati, Shyataha, Shyamti. Shyasi, Shyataha, Shyataha. Shyatha, Shyami, Shyavaha, Shyam. Astu, Uttamam. Bala Mahodaya. Lot Lakara Rupani. Kani. Pat Dhatu.
Lot Lakara is Agya Patatu, Patatau, Patantu.
Patatam, right? Patatu, Patatam,
Patantu.
Evam va? Patatu, Patatam, Patantu.
Patatu, Patatam, Patantu.
Madhyama Purushe. Patha.
No, I don't recall.
Patha, Patatam, Patata.
Because you're hiding the screen.
Satyam. I'm trying to see if you remember.
No, I don't recall. Patani, Patava, Patama.
So, Atra Pashyatu, Prathama Purushe, Patatam asti, Madhyama Purushe, instead of Tam, it will be Tam, Patatam, and Patata. As Viraj Mahodaya pointed out, for Lang Lakara, it will be Apatatam, Apatata. So, some simple patterns to remember this by. See, Patatam, Lot Lakara. In Lang Lakara, it will be Apatatam. Same thing. Instead of, we just add a in front. And instead of just Patata, it will be Apatata. And Uttama Purusha also, instead of Patava, it will be
Apatava and Apatama.
Uttamam. Vakyani Rasayatu Mahodaya. Prathama Purushe.
Bhavan Patatu. Bhavantau Patatam. Bhavantaha Patantu.
Artham kimasti.
You read. You both read. You all read.
That is Ajna. Prarthana, may you to read, or please read.
Please read, whatever. Please or Kripaya, same
Krupaya.
language.
And Madhyama Purushe.
Tvam Pata. You Vam Patatam. You Yam Patata.
Patata. Artham.
You read. You both read. You all read.
May you to read, or you to please read. Like that.
May you both read and may you all read.
So for Prathama Purusha, instead of Bhavan Bhavati, use some other Karta.
Rama Patatu.
Ramaha Patatu.
Rama, Patatu.
Ramaha Patatu. So
then
what?
Ramo.
Hold on. Before we go to Dvivachana, let us clarify something. Ramaha Patatu. What does that mean?
Ram read.
May Rama read.
I said Ram. I didn't say Ramaha. I said Ram, Patatu.
Okay, I don't know what you are saying there.
I'm telling Ram to read. So Rama Patatu.
Okay. Then it will be Bhavan, right? Rama Bhavan Patatu. So if you are not explicitly saying the Karta, then it will be Bhavan there for Prathama Purusha. I'm saying Ramaha Patatu.
Sambodhana.
You are using it as Sambodhana. I'm saying don't use Sambodhana. Karta. Karta is Rama. So Ramaha Pathatu. What does that mean?
Ramaha Patam Patatu.
What does that mean?
Rama, please read the lesson. Of Rama, read the lesson.
No. Atra pashyatu. Ramaha Pathatu. What you had initially said was Rama Pathatu. Hello. So here you are addressing Rama, Sambodhana. Hey Rama. So it is equivalent to saying Hey Rama, Bhavan Pathatu. But here Rama is being used as Karta. Ramaha Pathatu. So here in the second sentence, we are saying, Hey Rama, please read. Atra.
Rama, read.
Let Rama read or may Rama read.
Correct.
Astu. Anantara.
Dhanyavad.
So
Aham
same thing.
Patani. Avam Patava. Vayam Patama.
Arthamapi vadatu. May I read or let me read?
May we read and may we all read.
So that is prarthana. Agya or prarthana in another form. Let me read.
Let me read. Let we both read. Let us all read.
Let us all read. So may we let like that.
Dhanyavada.
Dhanyavada. So I know lot lakara can be slightly confusing. So let us clarify any questions you may have. So ask, please ask. Clear?
I'm still not clear about that Ramaha Patatu. Ramaha Patatu. Rama read.
Rama.
I'm ordering Ramaha Patatu. Is it?
Ramaha.
Why is it?
Atra Rama Shabda. What is the Rama Shabda here? What form is it?
It's a Karta.
Karta. Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachana.
Ekavachana.
And here?
That is Sambodhana.
Sambodhana. So here you are saying, you are addressing Rama.
Right.
Rama, please read. Bhavan Pathatu. Or in other, so Rama, you read or you please read. Here, Rama is the Karta, Ramaha. So let Rama read or may Rama read.
Okay, got it.
One more in that thing. Sambodhana form. If you say Hey Rama, Hey Rama, in brackets Tum.
Tvam.
Pata.
Uttamam. Tvam Patha.
So here it is a Madhyama Purusha form.
Madhyama Purusha form.
And here it is more like an order, Agna. Whereas in the first case, Ramaha Patatu, Rama, you're not talking to Rama, you're telling somebody about Rama.
Or you can also think of it as you are telling Rama only, but in a third person form. May Rama read. So I'm talking to Rama only, but I'm saying may Rama read. I'm not addressing directly. May Rama read.
Like in a class. a lot of students are there, a teacher can address one boy and say,
let Rama read. If Rama is talking or Rama is reading and people are interrupting, I can say Ramaha Patatu. Let Rama read. Please, all of you, be quiet. Let Rama read.
Whereas in the third sentence, you are telling Rama, you read.
I'm telling Rama, you read. Even in the second sentence also, I'm telling Rama, you read. But instead of Tvam, I'm using Bhavan. Maybe he's my elder. Maybe I don't know him all that well. So I'm telling him, but using the Bhavan form. So technically, like we discussed, Bhavan doesn't necessarily mean respect and Tvam doesn't necessarily mean disrespect or youngster, talking to somebody younger than me. But that's the convention we are following nowadays. That's all. It's a convention, not a rule. Other questions about Lot Lakara? Bhagya Mahodaya, is this clear?
Yes, Mahodaya, it's clear. Dhanyavad.
Ramesh Mahodaya, Pat Dhatu, Bhavishyat Kala, Lrut Lakara. Ramesh Mahodaya अस्ति वा? Vedartham Mahodaya. Okay, he may be not in front of his computer. Bhagya Mahodaya, Bhavati Karotu. Pat Dhatu.
Pat Dhatu Lrut Lakara Mahodaya.
Mahodaya.
Patishyati, Patishyataha, Patishyanti, right? Patishyasi, Patishyataha, Patishyata, Patishyami, Patishyavaha, Patishyamaha.
Again, tha, please.
Patishyatha.
Tha, tha, in Madhyama Purusha, tha. Lang Lakara forms, Mahodaya, Bhagya Mahodaya. Bhavati mute madhya asti. You are still in mute, Bhagya Mahodaya. No, mute asti.
Oh. Apatat, apatatam, apatan, apataha, apatatam, apatata, apatam, apatava, apatama.
Uttamam.
Okay, dhanyavad.
Apatat, apatatam, apatan, apataha, apatatam, apatata, apatam, apatava, apatama. Any other questions about Lakara? So even for the exam, we will use the simple Lakaras like Pat Dhatu, Likh Dhatu, Khad Dhatu, something like that. We won't use complicated ones, so don't worry about having to look up in dictionaries and all of that. The idea is to help you revise the concept, not your memory power. Astu, let us do some abhyasa on abhyaya. We studied it, but we never did the, we didn't get a chance to do abhyasa on abhyaya. Let us do some abhyasas. Can you see my screen? Astu. So what is an abhyayam? Abhyayam ityukte kim?
It does not change.
It stays same. I mean, कालभेदः नास्ति, वचनभेदः नास्ति.
यः परिवर्तनं न अस्ति सः अव्ययः भवति.
लिंगं पुरुष विभक्ति विकार्य न भवति.
अव्ययं नपुंसकलिंग शब्दमस्ति मीरा महोदय. अव्ययः न अव्ययम्. अस्तु उत्तमम्. So it does not change according to vibhakti, vachana or linga. So pullinga, strilinga, napumsakalinga or ekavachana, dvivachana, bahuvachana or vibhakti, prathama to saptami vibhakti, the usage of the avyayam is the same. We can, Bhagya Mahoday, we cannot say kala because when we talk about vachana, vibhakti and linga, it means it's a namapadam. Kala is used, is reference to kriyapadam. So,
धन्यवादः महोदय.
नामपदं नामपदम् अस्ति चेत् अस्ति, अतः लिङ्गभेदं नास्ति, वचनभेदं नास्ति, विभक्तिभेदं नास्ति. Let us look at what we mean by that. Let's take the simplest one, cha. Can anybody frame sentences that shows it remains the same across linga?
Which word, Mahodaya?
Cha and cha asti khalu. Cha. Ramah
बालकः बालिका च पठतः.
Ramah Lakshmanah cha vanam gachatah. Rama and Lakshmana went to the forest. So there cha is used to use with Ramaha and Lakshmanaha Pumlinga. Sita, what Sita's sister's name I forget.
Urmila.
Sita, Urmila cha sahodaryav. So Sita and Urmila are sisters. So even though in this case we are using cha with Sita and Urmila, the cha remains the same. It is not changing. In the first sentence, Rama and Lakshmana, we are using cha, but there also cha remains as cha. And Amra phalam, Kadali phalam, Narikelam, cha aham ichchami. I like mango, banana and coconut, for example. So again there with Napumsakalinga.
Oh no, they won't in the afternoon flight or 11:30 flight.
Bhagya Mahoday, can you please mute yourself? So there with cha.
Mahoday.
Vadatu Mahoday.
Rameshah, Sureshah, Sita cha Sundaraha. Sudhamva Mahoday.
Rameshah, Sureshah, Sita cha
Sundaraha.
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 You are talking about three different people. You are talking about three different people. So your kriya will also be Sundaraha Santi.
Sundaraha Santi.
Okay, we will do some more revision of these in the next class. And if you have any other topics that you would like me to revise in the next class, please send a message or put it in the group chat. I will prepare some examples accordingly, and we will do a thorough revision before the test. Any questions? So we will.
Will you be posting the 4 topics? Topics you will post the 4 topics you said for the.
I will send.
Abhyaya, luck.
I will post a message about what topics will be in revision test 4. Let us finish with the Mangala Slokam, and then if you have questions, ask me. I will stay back for a few minutes. Anupama Mahodaya.
Mahodaya.
Prarthana Slokam Karoti. Mangala Slokam.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. Hari Om. Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
धन्यवादः महोदय.